Taylor, we're here, man.
We're here.
Yeah, dude.
I finally did it.
Do you? We'll start over. Do you ever get tired of these beers that you have so graciously brought us?
Man, I can't say that I do. I have. I'm in it for the love of the game, man. I love beer.
So yeah, what exactly do you do? Can you kind of introduce us to your life a little bit?
Yeah, I'm Taylor T Swift.
Taylor Swift.
I'm the head of sales and distribution for Two Docks Brewing Company here in town. We're a production brewing facility that distributes now to 4 cities in the greater West Texas area. And yeah, we basically started this distribution model from scratch.
So you've been with them since the beginning, or are you part of like the ownership or any of that stuff? No
ownership yet, but we've been staying steady for those 4 years. Got to go through the pandemic with those guys. They brought me on full time right before then. I started off as a server. I was doing some undergrad research with a good fellow that I think y'all had on here at one point, Joshua Brown, Dr. Brown.
Oh yes,
and
shout out to you, brother.
Yeah, we did some really cool research on identity, and that brought me to run into those guys over at Two Docks, and just needed a little part-time work, but fell in love with the culture. Already knew I liked beer, but wanted to learn a little bit more about it. And once I got the product knowledge, I found the opportunity, and they gave me a chance to go represent the product.
Yeah, good on there.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, because he paired it to this. I was going to tell you. You paired it to that.
I was like, we just heard a voice.
No, that was that. Yeah. So I had previously asked you if you had seen the video we made, because we went out to First Friday and we interviewed people. But the reason I said it is because I was kind of, putting a little slander on Two Docks. For this reason, I'm going to give you the reason, because I drink Bud Light. I drink Natural Light, Coors Light. I don't drink much else. So I was like, you guys I'm drinking a Lubbock Light. There's IPAs and whatever the fuck you're drinking. What is that? A Chilton. So I'm not into that world. So I was like, I don't know. So my introduction into like brew houses and breweries and all that shit here in Lubbock was actually Two Docks. I didn't know like shit like that existed. And it's interesting that you guys have your own beer, right?
Yeah.
Was that where it started, or was it the actual brewery? It's like the main place, because now you're fucking seeing your beer at fucking Flips and all that, right? Like,
yeah.
Shit like that.
Yeah, we've got over 100 accounts here in town.
Okay.
And like I said, in 4 cities now: Abilene, Amarillo, Midland, and Odessa, as well as all across here. But yeah, no, we've got a great head brewer, guy with a bunch of years of experience out of the Austin market. Guy just knows his craft especially well, and it makes it easy to talk about. And one of the things is that, most people visualize it as craft beer, but as we're seeing some of these craft breweries grow and get more market share and take, this year specifically, 6 of the top 20 selling individual labels in the nation from a craft brewery, people are really supporting it, and it's becoming less of this stigma of craft beer. It's just a different style.
I haven't heard craft beer in a while, now that you're saying that, because it is just, to me, it's just another beer.
And the fact that you're able to go to the brewery has changed that drastically, because people do just say, hey, that's Two Docks. It's not the craft brewery down the street. And the fact that we have 4, 5, 6, up to 10 craft breweries in our area now, within a couple 100 miles, people are normalizing the fact that that's where you go hang out with your family. It's where you go find fellowship, depending on what your beliefs are. You can get together and talk about and become the people you're going to be together in a facility like that. And that goes for every brewery I've ever been to. Shout out to all of them. Shout out to Independent Craft for helping make this possible.
Yeah, tell me about this. So this is like y'all's company, right?
Yeah, so you can see the Two Docks logo there, but right underneath it, you can say it's Certified Independent Craft through the Brewers Association. Brewers Association is an organization that helps provide information and services for craft breweries all across the nation. Of course, we have to become an affiliated member. We pay dues, but being able to put that stamp there means that we're part of something that's been going on. I mean, in the craft scene, of course, only 25 plus years here in the States, but for thousands of years, people have been brewing beer and making it something that brings each other together. You have it with fellowship. Again, I mean, there's some deep Christian roots in how we drank beer, friends. And say amen, brother, to that one.
Yeah. You know, women were the first people to brew beer.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
And I don't know much about the history, so
If my history is correct, it's because women did did those jobs back then. I guess this was a long time ago, so the women were the ones making the food and preparing things. So women were the first ones to brew beer. Shout out to you guys.
Did they do that because water was just so bad back then?
Probably.
there's definitely been points in history where, yeah, it was much more sanitary to drink the fermented ale rather than the rank river water that was coming out.
So you guys have different people making these beers right here, or these? You have your buddy Hobby. Is that what it's called?
Well, yep. So
Yeah.
we got Hoppy, Bach on the table, Lubbock Light, and our Chilton Goza. Goza's my main gal. That's the product that really got going when we first started doing distribution. And then that Buddy Hoppy, of course, has always been by me. And of course, you can't deny the fact that having Buddy Holly on a branded item is just one of the coolest things.
Damn good idea.
Is that even Buddy Holly that's pictured?
That's him.
Okay, because I was trying to tell. I can't tell if it's someone that looks like him or not.
Is that Gary Busey, whatever his name is?
No, it's not Gary Busey.
No, actually, so that's one of the cool things is that we've got an agreement. We're working on, or at least we worked through something with the record label to go through and make sure that we were paying homage in a good way, in a representative way that signified that Buddy was an icon, and we want craft beer and Lubbock to be an icon. We want that something to be something that people recognize to be coincidental. So yeah, we're happy to say that we're the first licensed product to have his image on there, and so that was a big move for us.
Damn,
as
that's
local
pretty cool.
boys.
For a long time, I've been trying to get this sticker, and every time I go, it's always sold out.
Where at Two Dogs?
At Two Dogs, yeah.
Scarcity breeds sales. No, it's just one of those things we try to.
Stickers always go.
Yeah, stickers go so fast. Merchandise flips like crazy. You think you have a stockpile, and next thing you know, you're right out. But I'll put you on the list, my friend.
All right, I appreciate it. I'm a huge Buddy Holly fan too. So
The Hoppy sticker goes well, and we're always trying to find new and fun ways to reinvent the image and get people excited for it. Because it's, like I said, Buddy's someone and something that, I guess, an idea really that great things can come from small beginnings. Well, that's there's so many layers of beauty that comes with the imagery of having Buddy associated with one of our products, and I'm damn proud of it.
Yeah, who designed that beer? Who made it?
It's an amalgamation. This is definitely one of the brainchilds of our head brewer. But then again, our two founding owners, the two doctors, along with some of their family members, were homebrewing before they got started. And so a lot of these recipes that we went into initially were their homebrew recipes that just got bumped up to the big scale and became some of our staple products, Bach being one of those, I believe.
Are you involved in the process of brewing the beer? Because I'm asking, do they fucking try shit out at Two Dogs itself, or are they is there a secret location where they get secret herbs and spices?
No. Well, you've been in the facility, you've been in the tap room, so it's just pretty wide open. So yeah, tap room is where we serve and service the beers, and then just on the other side of the chain, as I call it, is the brew house, and that's where they pretty much take care of everything. And as you mentioned, there's been a couple of sour releases that we've been doing, just trying to work with a couple different ingredients to see what stratifies
You
well
like that stuff, don't you?
within the sour without giving it too much of a potency or any secondary fermentation that might cause any off flavors for it. So there's a lot of that kind of chemistry based interaction that goes in the back of house to say what is actually happening. Can we keep the beer stable? Even though I love talking about it, it's not what I do on a day-to-day basis. I do love the process. Back to my reference of psychology research with Josh, I'd like to think I'm a scientist by nature, but in practicum, not so much day-to-day. But these guys are always doing something that's trying to be more experimental. Recently, I guess last couple months, my homie Colin's been brewing the Goza. That's become his beer. And he's starting to take on more of a leadership role in that position and trying to experiment more and see what we can do with maybe some mixed culture beers or otherwise just trying to see what gets people excited for beer.
So once you have this product, it's your job to go sell it to places.
It is my honor to do so.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, no, that's exactly how it goes. We go through a pretty rigorous conversation every couple weeks or so to say, hey, what is the market doing? What do we want to do? What should we do to shock the market? How do we get people excited about the product? How do we make sure we're making the most profit we need to? And how do we make sure that we're not gouging anybody's pockets to sell the product? That's, again, one of the things. We want to normalize this stuff. We want to make sure that people are willing to go try an IPA for the first time or go drink 3 sour beers on an afternoon. We want to see people engaging in a multitude of things just to try to support each other. And that's what beer does in a nutshell. And so, yeah, like I basically get to represent the main products. We have the 4 staples in the cans. We don't deviate too much. And that's one of the things that's really good about our brewer and how his traditional background really sets us up for success, that we can have our staples, that we want people to know, hey, if you know Two Dogs Brewing Company, amazing. If you're in love with Buddy Hoppy, great. So kind of having that separation, but also that cohesion of just brand recognition is something that we're really striving for, and something that I would love, because this is something that I've invested a lot of my life into, drinking this product, representing it, and working
That's really
for
cool.
it. So
yeah. What's like?
soapbox.
What would stop places from selling? Like, why do they? What's some of the reasons they don't want to sell it? Would you say?
Well, we've all been in this area for a good while, I think, and historically, people branching out and doing crazy things, piercing noses and smoking reefers and all that good stuff.
I don't know nothing about that, but
I've only heard about
yeah,
it.
me too.
So, doing something different is not the best thing, and I'm really excited to see what we have to say about Two Docs on your First Friday video.
Ooh-wee. What did I say? Let's play it. Let's play it. Is it hooked up to the... Unlike anything I've ever seen.
Bro,
Dude, this was the most people I've ever seen at
No shit.
First Friday.
Just a lot of no disrespect.
It's like 14 something.
looking so sus.
I love it, like it's pretty good. That's the only bad thing about choking beer. Now, if I were to rate the beer, I'm a Bud Light man. I keep it simple: Natural Light, Bud Light, Coors Light, Lone Star. This is some fancy shit in my eyes, but it's good. It's Lubbock Light. It's the only one I'll drink here. 2 of these was like $15. Kind of trash because you can get a whole 30 pack for $15.
Sorry, guys.
Over here, we're gonna have fun. I like Two Dogs. They're very friendly guys. Whoever makes this, have you had the can before? Is the can good? The can's good, so they make them out. You can buy them at the store and shit. So get a Lubbock Light when you're here. Don't get that ha shit. This is as basic as it gets.
Get the Lubbock Light. That's what I'm drinking right now.
As far as I know, that's a solid PSA.
Thank you. We're good. We're good.
And I'll definitely pass on the compliments to the chef on that one. That's it's worth something.
No, man. I like Two Dogs though, man. It's a fun place. You guys got it real good in that location.
Well, I got set up just because I was working for the art center next door a couple of years ago, and I was encouraged by some of my confidants at the time to go check out what was going on with the brewery, and I signed up that day to go get an interview. Next day I was hired. The next day we opened for First Friday. And I don't know if you remember that very first one, but it blew my pants away because it was just bussing out there.
The very first Friday when you opened?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit!
That was
I don't know.
February First Friday of 2019. I know it sticks in my.
Y'all
brain.
didn't have the carport at that time, right?
So we did. We had. It just was totally different, man.
Yeah.
We didn't have the murals. The seating arrangements were different. I don't know. I don't think we ran the outdoor bar that first time either. I think that was one of the big factors for the outdoor. But it was beautiful that evening, and we just had tons of people. And it's electric when you're out there doing that. Like when you're hanging out and you see the homies, you're like, "Oh, what's up, Roy?"
It's the greatest time ever.
It's so fun, and that's like, whew, here comes the thick of it. It's tough, man. Beer industry's tough. It's a job you do for love.
What's so tough about it? Tell us.
It's just I'm speaking from my experience, but especially from these brewers' experience, man. It's long hours. It's hard. It's just hard on your body. You're moving up around grain bags and kegs and stomping toes, and you're getting berated by bar managers and owners of restaurants, and you're just taking everyone's shit because you're still, it's service industry at its purest. You're in production, you're in manufacturing to some degree if you're at a production facility like ours, but it's service, and it's something that people still underappreciate on a regular basis. And I served in the bar for a couple of years, but I haven't done that in a good while. And those guys get the brunt of it too. Someone comes in, I think it's a great environment for people to come, and I think that most people should be especially happy if they're blessed enough to be hanging out at a brewery on an afternoon. Happy as can be.
I don't just say shit. I don't fuck around, and I don't lie. Your guys' employees are the best, like in any bar in Lubbock. I'm not just saying that, and sometimes it's hit or miss at some bars. Never at Two Ducks. You guys are always great. Everybody's always nice, and it's always never fucking. Well, I'm sure they fuck up. We're humans, but it's always smooth. It's always smooth for as many people. I'm telling you, this last First Friday, you weren't there, right? You weren't there. It was so many goddamn people, the most I've ever seen.
That's probably the busiest.
I think it was our record First Friday, if I'm not mistaken.
Shitload of people.
We had who did we have playing out there that night? We had
Lofi. I can't think of his band's name. Indigo, maybe.
Indigo.
Oh yeah. Indigo jammed out is what I heard. So that was you can't beg for that kind of stuff, man. It just has to come organically, and we've been really lucky. We want to get these bands specifically. That's one that I want to work with, and that's something we need to talk about here in a minute. But definitely, the music scene. Just how do we support the arts down there? That's the main thing that the ownership group saw, and that I was really happy and fortunate to run into in my early stages. Is that we were there to support the arts one way or the other, and you know damn well what our slogan is: beer is art, baby.
So right there.
So
there you go.
It's just, like I said, it's just fantastic. What better feeling than getting to actually step back to First Friday and just see how other people enjoy Two Docs. See families there every First Friday that I go that I've never seen in my life. I get to see all kinds of folks that I've never thought would be at a First Friday, or an art trail or a brewery for that matter. And it's crazy how broadened our spectrum has gotten. And like I said, that's to the thanks of all of the actions of the arts groups, the Cultural Arts Foundation downtown, Luca, the other breweries around town. People are really doing their legwork to make sure that others are trying to invest in what's going on. And Snake Pit's a part of that too, brother.
Thank you. Trying to be. It's fun out there, man. We love some beer on this fucking podcast too. Are you guys doing anything for St. Patrick's Day?
Yeah, so we actually have a 5K. Sorry. We got a 5K going on Saturday morning. I think all the information's on the Instagram, Facebook, and then on the website. I don't want to be caught lying on here, but I think the start is at 9 a.m.
You look at that.
That includes a group pack or a runner's pack where you get free beer, t-shirt, I believe, and some other goodies from the sponsors for the event. I think we're going to have vendors out there.
That's a 5K run?
I believe we're going to have some green beer. And of course, the one beer that I really wanted to bring was our our Donegal County Irish Stout this year.
Did you guys do that last year?
We didn't, man.
Oh, no.
One of the things that, one of the things I think that reverberated through a lot of breweries and small businesses throughout the pandemic was supply chain and how you could invest in materials and do things like that. And one of the things that we had to do last year was just cut 3 or 4 of the beers that we were going to do just because production had to be so meticulous on expenses. So hadn't done it for the last couple of years, but this year it made sense. And damn it, Jason just knocked it out of the park.
I think it was 2 years ago. So when was it that you guys had the brand there on St. Patrick's Day? You remember?
Ooh.
Was that 2 years ago?
That was 2021.
I got so fucked up at St. Patrick's Day at Two Dogs that I got this tattoo right
You
here.
did not do that.
And I don't remember getting the tattoo. This is the only one I don't ever like. I wanted the tattoo, I just didn't want it right there.
I was drinking water most of the day myself, but I also got a March or a St. Patty's
Did you?
stamp that day.
You remember that day, man?
And it's the one tattoo everybody asks me about.
Is that a skull?
Yeah, it's like a globe and a skull.
Nice. You got it on that day too?
I got it on that day.
Yeah,
and
dude.
I guess maybe I did have a few beers because that was the first tattoo that ever bled for me, and I was like,
Now, did I? So,
going
did I know you at this point? Okay, so then yes, it was 2 years ago. Oh man, that was a fucking day, I tell you.
Don't ask questions like that.
I couldn't remember if it was like. Were we dating at that point?
We weren't dating.
See, that's what I meant to ask.
No.
Okay, yeah.
We were in each other's lives.
Dude, St. Patrick's Day is one of my favorite days of the year. Second to 4th of July.
Ooh,
Second to 3rd to 4th of July and Halloween. Take that back. 2 favorite days of the year, but St. Patrick's Day, I cannot wait.
it's one of the best. People just get in the spirit. It doesn't matter who you are, you're Irish that day. And if you drink stout and green beer, and if you hang out at Two Dogs, you're twice as Irish in my book.
All right, man, let's run through this. What is a stout? What is a fucking IPA? What the hell is what? Can you explain the difference
All right.
to me, please?
All right. It's a bit open-ended, but let me see if I can think of a way to sum it up. Every beer, there's a couple different factors. I guess a little quick trivia round. Do you know what the ingredients for beer are?
Hops.
Yeah.
Water.
Yes.
Barley. I don't fucking know.
Barley / grain.
Sugar.
Close. Ish.
Sodium. No.
Something active.
Yeast.
Bum bum. So that's what the German brewing laws or the purity laws state, that you have to beer has to be constituted of those 4 ingredients. If it doesn't, it cannot technically be considered beer. Much like any other beverage, like our premium beverage you see, tequila comes from Guadalajara. Champagne, France, and bourbon, Tennessee, Scotch, Scotland. All so on and so forth. And so by German purity laws, has to have those 4. So each beer, pretty much any of our beers specifically are really distinctive by the yeast that they use. So that's something that you can distinguish between, and that's ale yeast versus lager yeast. The ale yeast ferments at a warmer temperature, and it sits up at the top of the beer and goes way faster, ferments a way quicker rate, metabolizes the sugars from the grain at a faster rate, and that ultimately affects the flavor. And that's some science that I'm not going to get into as well. But basically the way that the yeast metabolize and create byproducts of expression through different flavorings, or perceptions of flavor, I should say, that's how we get different flavors in beer. So you got your yeast that can give flavor expression. You've got your grain that's going to give a huge flavor expression. And that's something that specifically with like the stout versus light that you'll see the distinguishing factor in, where light is going to use like a 2-row or a 4-row, I think, 6-row. I'm not sure what the base is, but I know we use some Pilsen, some really lighter, more like straw colored grains. And then something like a stout, you're going to be using some roasted malts. You're going to use something dark, some chocolate maybe, something that's going to look dark to appearance in its raw state. And so those are the main things that really get to it. But of course, depending on how big of a beer you want to make, you can add more grain and get way more alcohol content from it. If you want to, you can add different bacterium and get something like a sour expression from it. So a lot of different things. And sometime I definitely need to give you guys a tour of the back of house.
For sure.
It's definitely worth it. So there's a lot that goes into the process, and it's like I said, it's thousands of years of this
Literally about to
science
say that.
of fermentation that people have understood. And again, like I stated a few moments ago, based out of necessity. Hoppy changed 3 or 4 times during the pandemic. Not drastically. we still hit the IBUs and the ABV. For all intents and purposes, it was an identical beer, but it had to change based out of necessity. And that's what's happened over thousands of years of making beer. We change and adapt and use what's available, and we make what we can.
Now, let's say, the laws change and a little thing called cannabis is legal in Texas. Would you guys do something like, I know they do some shit like that, right? Some infused beers and, I don't know. I've heard some infused alcoholic beverages.
Well, as it were, the hops are, kissing cousins. They're cannabis cousins.
Oh, okay.
So they're in the cannabinoid family.
Kissing cousins.
Well, they're in the cannabis family, but they do not actually consist of any cannabinoids. So so there's some similarities. There's some one of the big things in the industry now is using hop extract. So that's basically just like you'd see in like a dab cartridge or like a wax or a butter or whatever. They take that extract.
Oh, they know what you're talking about, not me. I don't know.
I just saw it on NPR.
There you go. Yeah.
Basically, you get those extracts, those oils from the hop as well, and you can super concentrate your beer, and you can experiment with different flavors from different hops and make it a little bit easier. And that's you see things like this depicted of hops. They're like big cones, and they truly are just massive cones, but they're just fluffy and lush, and they're sticky as all get out. But we don't use those typically in West Texas. We're dry and arid out here. I think we were mentioning getting just whipped by this wind the last couple of days, or periodically, I guess, through our lives. But we usually get hops in pellet form, just like you'd see on a pellet grill.
Okay.
So a lot of things have changed in the way we make beer, but there's tons of innovation still, and there's tons of ways that we can still use modern innovation to make beer. And we're trying to do that.
Yeah, man, you got to take us out there. I want to see it. It's fucking. I've never even.
I'll tell you,
big ass
it's Frenchy.
Do you have to clean that big ass? What is it called? The shit they keep the beer in, like
so
how
the fermenters.
Fermenter. I can think of the word.
Luckily there's an automated machine that helps. It's called a CIP. And I can't remember the chemical something process, I think, and whatever it is, but it's a machine that helps clean it, and you put a bunch of chemical in it to clean it first of all, and then you use chemical to neutralize it. And again, luckily that's not ever been something I do much on. Well, I actually was really enamored by the process whenever I first started in there, but as the sales opportunity got available or opened up, and then I found that this is something I really care about. I want to talk about this with people.
What does your day-to-day look like?
Well, a lot of what I do is, as of right now, kind of going or closing out the first quarter of the year, I'm trying to sequester new accounts. So I pretty much go out and do sales around the region. And it's just, talking to folks who I think might be a good market. And luckily, in West Texas, with the help of, again, like I said, upwards of a dozen breweries in the greater region, people are really open to trying new products. And so the grocery store chains, shout out to United, HEB, Food King along the way.
You can get it at these places?
Mm-hmm.
These beers? Oh, okay.
Yeah, these are all places you can get around town. I feel okay saying that.
Okay,
They're not paying me for this, I promise.
Hey, they want to sponsor the podcast. Shout out to them. That's all I'm saying.
And that's a conversation for you to do.
Yes. There you go.
But yeah, no. So it's like having corporate relationships has been really pertinent to the expansion. But going and having just a good old conversation. You never know who you're going to run into. That's just something my granddad taught me, that you just treat everyone, one of those good old fashioned proverbs, just treat everybody equally, and it's usually going to pay out. And that's kind of going back, not to tell my sob story, but yeah, like not everybody's like really open to talking to just some random white dude about buying craft beer that's like way more expensive, and I've never heard of it, and what the fuck is Lubbock, and like why Goza, was that Goose? Like it's just like it's fun, the challenge most of the time, and that's why I really like it. And that's pretty much, again, what I do. I go in, try to sequester these accounts, and then of course just service the ones that we have currently. And how do we satisfy the needs? How do I become a better not just salesmen, but how do I help improve the industry? And that's where that stuff like the independent craft really goes a long way. It's not just the Brewers Association, it's the Texas Craft Brewers Guild. It's people that want to change the way everybody perceives beer and drinking. And that's something else I need to plug for a minute. There's some Texas legislation going on right now.
Let's hear it.
And I think we have a link on that Instagram. I was going to see like maybe last week. And I think it's House Bill. Oh, I should have come with a pamphlet. But basically, what we're doing is trying to get Texas craft breweries permission to ship product direct to consumer. And it's probably not even something that a lot of you would consider or think about. But you've seen the services. You see that you can get like Drizzly or, I'm at a loss for other ones, but places where you can ship, booze straight to your house.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Pardon me, the hoppy. But wineries have had this right for years now to be able to ship their product direct to consumer. And there's obviously a multitude of laws that separates us from wine in general, but this is something that's kind of created a separation for how small breweries can grow, because not everybody, especially breweries that are even slightly smaller, they don't have me working for them. They don't have the team that I have around me pushing to sell more product and make more product and adapt to the market if we can. So it's in my best interest to fight for those little guys that don't have guys like me on their day-to-day workforce to say, hey, how do we actually get our product out there to people? And direct to consumer is absolutely it.
Which right now it's illegal?
Yeah, we're not allowed to as breweries, as craft breweries.
Oh, okay.
And there's some other fine print. And
Can you scroll up, please, Bradley? So we can see what this... a little bit more.
Here I am. I'm the worst spokesman in America for craft beer, but...
Oh, no, it's just mine.
But yeah, so that's something that's pretty pertinent right now for us, and I think that link is definitely on our website. But either way,
So you're trying to get this law passed?
yeah. So like, you can go and sign this petition for House Bill 322, I think is what it is, to go and say that, hey, I'm voicing my opinion, and unfortunately, historically, our representation, as if you could believe it or not, hasn't really voted in the likes of the small man in the beer industry. There's a lot of lobby money. I'm pretty sure that I heard that second to the NRA, alcohol has surpassed tobacco and is the second biggest lobby group.
Now, what are they like lobbying? Like
Distribution rights mostly
Oh, okay.
is what it is, and again, it gets into some minutia that wouldn't affect either of any of y'all, and mostly not me either. But as we start to grow and develop, these are things that are going to pose impositions for us to say, hey, you can't develop in this way or grow in this way based on X law, based on this person who has paid me to vote in such a way.
okay.
So
So just like there's like a big pharma, there's a big alcohol out there.
There is, man, and that's
Anheuser or something.
It's Anheuser-Busch, brother.
Yeah,
and that's your light on there. It's all right. I can't fault you for it. My father, for like all my life, drank Bud Light, so I can't fault you for
I
it.
love it. I love it, man. No, we've been drinking Lone Star, but I'm sure they're owned by the same motherfuckers.
I think it is Anheuser-Busch that owns it.
Just recently, though, so you can't. I mean, and you know what? You can't fault these guys, man. Everybody wants to scale up. Everybody wants to get the bag. That's the goal, right? 2023, get your bag.
There you go.
So, wow. Hope that doesn't sound too lame on camera.
Fuck
but-
it, who gives a fuck?
But yeah, no. I mean, so like, that's a difficult thing for me. Like, because I'm not ownership, but like, what happens if in 10 years or 5 years or whenever it is that I do become an owner and we do have this successful model? You know, when do you proverbially sell out? Like, when does it become worth it to like give it up? And it's like, I don't know, because I feel like I would if it was like if it's more than I thought, then it's worth it. But
So the founder of Lone Star Brewery was Adolphus Busch. So
there you go.
That's an interesting name.
So yeah, OG. It was built in 1884. That's how long it's been around.
And Two Dogs Brewing was created in 2019.
We were just like right behind them. Actually, believe it or not, the idea was there. Come on.
Beer is art, man. So is ownership something in that you're looking to do?
Oh, if it posed the opportunity, maybe. As of right now, man, like I said, I enjoy what I'm doing. I want all of you guys to have something good to say about, whether it's Two Docs, whether it's me, specifically the beer. I'd like that. But I want you to have something knowledgeable about it. I had a professor that said that you should be able to say a paragraph. If I give you one word on a subject matter, tell me a paragraph about this thing. This guy was super esoteric. He had worked on Chernobyl like since the 80s. He was a very interesting man. But this was one of those lessons that I never gave up that taught me just not bullshit your way out of it, but truly know how to talk. I mean, Lubbock Light, if you liked it, how would you tell someone other than like,
Was that not a good job?
I told you, you did a great job. I appreciate the PSA. I would never negate it. But you did. You told everybody in the most Rattlesnake Roy way.
Thank you.
But yeah, that's all it takes is just actually knowing about your shit. And that's not being an expert on everything, but it's like if you engage in this product, know about it. Like, why would you sell yourself so short on not doing life like that?
Exactly. Like, a good life lesson right there.
I really liked it. Ron Chesser. Dr. Ron Chesser.
What the hell is
That was his name.
Oh.
But anyways.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Shout out to Chess. So that's the main goal with beer, man. It's just like, how do we get people to do it?
What's your favorite beer? Which one of these is your favorite?
Ooh, on the table, hoppy.
You have another favorite besides one of these?
I'll do a Goza. That's one of my faves. If you don't mind. This is your stash.
These are yours, man. We'll just drink the leftovers.
Can I have another hoppy?
Yeah, brother.
This one?
Yep.
Is this the strongest beer y'all got?
I have another one of those.
So right now we have Bumblebach, which is a seasonal fave, and it's one that you should definitely go try if you want to, because it's about to get out. And
Do you want?
Yes, can I have another one of these?
it's like 8.5%,
Oh, god damn.
but it's so smooth, man. I think stout, or not stout, but porter is still on, and it's like 7.5, 7 something. They're smooth though. We don't do anything too crazy.
I've had a 14% beer one time. That was the nastiest beer I've ever had in my life.
Do you know what it was?
Fuck, I can't remember. It was El Diablo or some bullshit like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Some bull spit.
Yeah, that fucking... It was disgusting. It was disgusting.
I'm pretty sure my favorite, I didn't love the beer. Maybe I did. I mean, the beer was all right, but my favorite name so far was called Pile of Face. And it was like this trippy ass art that was like literally a pile of faces. And it was like all melty and trippy and scary as shit, honestly. But it was like a really bitter beer. And so it was like, it's so bitter, it melts your face.
Huh.
And it was a strange imagery, but keep a lookout for Pile of Face.
Sounds like something you would drink.
That's cool.
It's something that I like. I really wish I had the can still.
Yeah, who designed these cans? These are cool designs.
So Austin Gutierrez is an artist that I believe, I think he was from Lubbock.
Sounds familiar.
Up in New York now. He did tons of stuff on the art trail before he left, but I think he's up in New York, and he did the Lubbock Light whole scene, and we've got the cans, the T-shirt, the poster.
You got one of these as a shirt?
Yeah, man, that's one of those things that we haven't rolled it in a while. But if
I have to get one of those.
If there's some popular demand for it, y'all stand by. Two Docs Mobile or Two Docs Online is going to be up and running in a matter of time. Y'all just hang on standby for that. Gonna try to satisfy all the cool merch. I mean,
If you get one of those, let me know.
I will. It's a staple. That's like my go-to. That's my 90 shirt now.
Nice.
It's my golden boy. If you
Yeah, you guys
know
got
the
good
reference.
merch and good hats.
We try, man. We do some good stuff. That's one of the coolest things that like the craft beer industry does is help people get together, like any other good social club. You get guys that have startup companies. Plenty of tech grads have gone and started companies. Plenty of guys from Lubbock even. I mean, you go and everyone's got a trade now, and it's amazing. Like, people are really diversifying. Like, I think it's
I
like,
love it.
we're in this like renaissance-y time. It's really freaking cool. I think people are caring about a lot more stuff, and I like it. And I
Well,
know that
I just took a picture,
Oh,
y'all.
you fucking! I don't know. I thought you were trying to show me
I
something.
said two dogs in the house
Oh, my man.
talking beer on at the
Preach.
radio.
No, I like that though. I like it, like what you were kind of saying earlier. If somebody like, if you're gonna do it, you fucking do it right. And when they do it right, it's so cool that there's so much shit out there. Like, well, I don't just mean to say shit, but a lot of people doing a lot of interesting things, like just like that they like to do, and I fucking love it. I'm here for it.
I am as well, and I think you know, I'm one of those dudes. I'm just a Segway guy. It's like I've had to come to terms with that over these years. I've always tried to figure out what my thing is, and luckily beer is my thing now, and I really enjoy that. Am I good?
No, yeah, you're good.
I
You're just gonna keep
I'm
mine.
so self-conscious.
No, you can.
But you know, like, I like getting to meet people by meeting people and helping people meet people through meeting people. Like, people are great sometimes. Sometimes they suck ass, but we have to do that anyways. Like, we have to deal with the dumbasses anyway. So I'm gonna keep trying to find the things and the people that make my time worthwhile.
How do you deal with dumbasses? How do you get through the bullshit? What's your way of approaching it?
Usually that, for the most part. Taking what someone has told me. Breathing. Because they're going to know I'm pissed.
That's a good idea.
I'm a human being, and I'm a damned ass animal sometimes. And people, like, you know what you're doing when you say something coarse, right? I mean, we all know. We all get that fire in our gut, and it's just like, sometimes it's fun as hell. But, like, someone says something, I'm like, I know what this person's doing. They're baiting me like a motherfucker, and I'm going to be cool.
It's a good idea because you
Think
ain't
about-
fucking saying shit right off the back. That's how I got
And you-
get in trouble.
Oh, and I'm not saying this is a faultless method here. This is a, like I said, experimental based thought process, but it has served me well way more times than not. And it's gotten me into some really funny situations, actually. But those will be for other conversations. But yeah, no, man, you have to take a step back and just say, hey, okay, I heard what you're saying. Let me repeat what you're saying so I'm clear on that. How do you think that I can help you in this situation? That's a good starting point usually. And it's like, I mean, that's one of those things. This is good for all relationships, interactions, so on. How do you make it a nice statement, right? How do you bring it back to me? How, if I were the one to change something, how could I do this to make the situation better? And sometimes they'll say, there's nothing you can do, you fucked up, or whatever the hell they're going to say. And you can just be like, thank you, sir, or go eat dick, sir. So there's always two sides to it. And luckily, because I like my job, I go with the nicer one. But it is just like, hey, man, like, fact of the matter is, I know when I'm an asshole, there's a reason. And it's probably not the person I'm talking to right now. How do I, like, remember that always? Especially if I'm going into something that I know is going to get me heated. If I'm already heated about the idea of it, and it's partially because of the thing I was already heated about, I just, like, I gotta do another block. Like, I gotta drive around for another few minutes and say, stop. This is, like, I have such a good opportunity to go and, like, make this situation better. Why would I bring a bad situation to a bad situation? That ain't a good move.
You like to do what Jocko Willink calls detach. You detach yourself.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
need to learn how to do that because I can't. Boy, I can't.
Well, Man, I'll tell you, like I've been telling my 84-year-old grandfather, it takes training. That man is my favorite person on the planet. My grandfather, that is. Jocko's also pretty cool.
Yeah, he's really cool.
For back referencing. But man, meditation and all that good stuff. Like
Meditate.
I try to. It's like something I really, really work on. And it's, you know, I don't know if you're much of a religious man or any of you guys and gals for all that goes, but try to get back to some spirituality in the traditional Christian sense. It just, what I understand from that practice is just the basis of mindfulness anyways. And I taught that to kids whenever I was a youth director. We're gonna, like, we did a couple segments on Eastern religion whenever I was doing that, and I thought that was like the most pertinent thing maybe for them. I hope they took some notes on it, but it's basically been what's thwarted me into like my mindset on trying to get back to who I am like ever since then. Because I went on a rocky path there, son. And I don't know if you saw me in between all that stuff, but you know, I went through some shit to get back to where I am, and I'm pretty fucking happy with where I'm at now. And it's taken a little while, but the stuff that makes you successful day to day is the stuff that makes you successful long term.
Hell yeah.
And I'm gonna always drink to that.
So you going back to church and all that? Is that what you're doing? I've been thinking about doing that. I know I've been saying that for a long time.
Man, if it's in your heart, you gotta. You know,
I find myself being called to the good Lord. I'll say that right now.
well, I do find myself being rather cheesy when it comes to that kind of stuff, but you, like I said, you really do. I mean, I don't know what the reason is specifically, and definitely not asking that, but I've got plenty of reasons to be thankful. I know that.
No, we all do.
So, and I like having a reason to be thankful. I like having something to think. I like having something to, you know, not impose beliefs on. You know, we can go on all this, and that's something that nothing like political beliefs or any of that stuff ever kept me away from religion. But so many things draw me back to it, which is ridiculous. It's like there's a million reasons why this is dumb and stupid, and why they're assholes, and why you shouldn't believe in it, and why you shouldn't do it. And definitely like the system, quote unquote, or the, you know, how it's been structured over all this time is the main reason for that. But man, we're the reason why. Like, why you should. Like, and I tell you, that little sweet thing that I get to call my own every once in a while. Well, every day. My girlfriend.
The Latina. Shout out to her.
My spicy little Latina.
Yeah, shout out there.
Dr. C. Love you. You know, she's been able to kind of get me back to believing in that. And she's a Catholic, so we're still working out our differences on that. But
good luck, buddy.
we, you know, like I said, I've got plenty of things to be thankful for, and I like the idea of practice. And you know, we're in Lent right now. I've been practicing as best I can. No meat on Fridays.
Nice.
I've gone to 2 Lenten services, so I'm slacking a little bit, but
this is they really turn it up during the Lent season. Them Catholics. I'm a Catholic. That's why I say
you're allowed. I mean, we're allowed to do what we can, and I'm Episcopalian, so Catholic light. If you're not familiar,
really, okay.
Basically, all the good stuff of Catholics, none of the bad shit.
Like the pedophilia.
As far as I know.
Okay.
As far as I know.
All right.
So yes, like as far as I know, no pedophilia. The church that I was attending was the first church that performed a same-sex wedding ceremony.
Nice.
So like progress, moving forward, inclusion, all that good stuff. Call it church, God, whatever the hell you want to call it. Call it family, call it community. If those all things, like everything that's good about church happens, that's where I want to be. And I don't know, man, we can all, at least I know I can. And just like going back to this, like, how do I cool myself down? If you want to be mad, you can be mad as hell. And I'm that person.
Sometimes it's fun to be mad, man. I'll be honest with you.
It's cathartic. It makes that brain happy for sure.
Sometimes I just want to fucking punch a hole in the wall. I'm like, I should just do it. Fuck it. But then I'll have a broken hand.
I promise you, it's never worth punching something. Maybe a face. But then again, that has to be like, we're getting some.
Some fucking
was like-
rascals
It's
running
like, is
around
that
the
a
loop.
T-Rex out there? Or what?
The rascals want to be riding around the loop at this time of the day. I don't know.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, these things pick up fucking everything. Dude, we're gonna get into ghosts here in a little bit, but there's a fucking ghost in this garage, and sometimes we get a little scared.
Now you tell me.
Hey, dude, that's what they
That's why
thought.
we looked at each other at the beginning. It was like, we heard something. We heard a what is it called?
Scared.
What is it called? The EVP.
It sounds like Halo.
I haven't played that game in a long time.
Okay. I don't know where I saw it, but I saw a little like news tidbit. And I didn't play Halo. I'm not a like my parents weren't against games, but it was like real restricted on how I could play them. So I never really developed that much of a liking for them at a young age. But I found this news to be hilarious. And people were saying that I guess there was an uprising. People on Halo prolifically like teabag each other.
Yeah,
Like drop your nuts on people, like,
Yeah.
but it's on Halo, of course, so it's like there's not really any nuts. And I also thought that the main character was a woman. Maybe I'm thinking of Samus. Either way, there's like an uprising where people are like, "That's assault," and we are propagating assault from this. And I thought that was a hot fucking topic.
Wait, now you got them searching things on.
Oh, I forgot this is like
I'm like,
you can do
Googs.
this. I also feel like it's incriminating. I don't want to say fucking anything because I feel like he's about to search me.
I hope people aren't serious about this. That'd be the most ridiculous thing ever.
And I
A
don't.
video
I
game.
can't attest to the degree for which they.
Go play Grand Theft Auto and fucking
We're
talk about
like-
some other shit. Jesus.
I think that shit's hilarious, and I think it's so funny because I remember when we were younger, man. I feel like it was always. Now that's the big thing that legislation passed when we were younger. That all these games were like okay, and they like did all the ratings, and it was like
Oh yeah.
because that was the first time any of that shit was available. I was talking about that with my lady.
There we
Like,
go.
do kids like do like typing and stuff, or do they just like know how to fucking type when they're born now? Like, is this like
Stupid.
I think there's enough generations that these kids are just born with it. I didn't know you could do that on this game. I never had an Xbox.
you were doing it. Oh yeah.
This podcast is now porno.
Softcore. Okay.
Softcore.
What were we watching the
need the
other day
tag.
that me and Bradley were like cackling at?
I don't remember.
What the
It was
fuck
the
is
MXC.
Oh, MXC.
Oh my god,
that? Play
Do you
it,
remember
play it.
that shit? Oh my
I-
god.
dude.
Well, while you're playing, I'm gonna go piss real quick.
Get after it now.
We were like hanging out the other night. We were just watching things, and me and Bradley were like, it was a show on Spike TV.
Yeah, we were talking about cable TV and like what we watched back in the day. And I had asked, what was the Asian show where it was pretty much Wipeout,
Yeah.
and it was dubbed in English. It was very bad dubbing too, but it was funny as hell. I couldn't remember what it was called, and when she looked it up, it was MCX or MX.
Tell me one of the like we.
I touched the wall first. It's pretty solid.
Good thinking, Ken. Wow, looks smart of you.
Yeah, fits good. It's kind of itchy.
Let's see how Kenny Blankenship does with the molded ass suit.
Ooh, into the slit.
Looks like you've got good mobility, Ken.
Yeah, it's kind of itchy. I should have washed it first.
Bog down there.
Yeah, I had to kick that guy's ass. He wouldn't let me in. And then he trips me right here.
Kenny, you don't seem to be really testing your suit. There you are. Now. Ah.
I was screaming for dramatic effect.
I remember being
Well,
a
that
kid
was
thinking
worth
those were
fighting.
like
And
real
here you are,
rocks.
ready
It's
to
like,
take on the second
damn.
rover.
Smoking!
And the spirited young fellow is Amanche, much sought after fashion photographer. Oh,
Dude, them Japanese
bucked
game
early.
shows are something else.
It's just so
spastic.
It's hilarious. Love
You
it.
know, models love
But like, anyways, yeah, those Japanese game shows. It's like if America wants their game shows to be successful, you got to go with stuff like this.
Do you have a favorite game show?
Uh,
The modern game show?
I mean the basics like Jeopardy and
It's really that's
Deal or
different.
Deal or No Deal. I mean, but this is completely different. Yeah,
I feel like they brought back Legends of the Hidden Temple at some like I swear I heard that there was a revival.
I hadn't seen the revival, but I remember being like a kid and being like, oh, that looks so fun.
To be that fucking kid on there.
Yeah.
Did y'all ever watch Silent Library on MTV?
Yeah.
So dumb.
That shit was funny.
That was a good one too.
Yeah. And then like
That bullshit.
No.
we were talking about if y'all remember Silent Library on MTV. Yeah, there was some funny ass shit on that.
MTV was, oh my god, the trashes. Like, Silent Library, Next. What was the one with the Room Raiders?
Room Raiders was awful.
Shit was so bad.
That was a wild show.
I was like,
That was a wild era of like reality TV. What a time.
Well, it's like, especially, like, we're pretty much all the same age-ish.
Y'all are older than me.
I was thinking, I don't know. I'm a little bit older than everyone, I feel like now, but
Robin Big was my shit.
yeah.
I was a Viva La Bam girl.
Okay. Of course you were, you little skater girl.
That was a good
I was definitely like an MTV2 kid.
Bams and Holy Union.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bams and Holy Union, The Ryan Dunn Show,
Wild Boys.
Wild Boys.
Wild Boys.
The OG Punked.
Saturdays I would watch The Rock
yeah,
Countdown and then Headbangers Ball, and then Sunday was Sucker Free Sunday.
MTV Cribs. All that.
Pin My Ride.
Hit my ride.
Oh my god.
That was great. That was,
They pretty much just butchered everybody's car.
Yeah, because when you watch Pin My Ride, the way they edit the show, you think that, oh, they did all that shit in 1 week. And apparently in reality, it took like almost
6 months. or
6 months to a year. They wouldn't get their car back.
when they were needing a car. Like, that was the whole point.
Those fucking shop bums were getting their MTV bonus and like deucing out for like a couple weeks, buying an
Jesus.
8-ball and the hooker along with it.
Hell, they'll have,
Motherfuckers.
there was some stupid shit on Pin My Ride. Like there would be like a S10 truck, but the bed's like a hot tub or some stupid shit like that.
Like, bro, you just made that thing twice as heavy the whole time. Oh shit! How funny!
Did y'all ever watch 1,000 Ways to Die?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one of my
Shout out to-
Do you
favorites.
remember the one from Lubbock?
Shout out to them making us look like some hicks.
Yeah.
What was that one? Did he like shoot himself or?
He had a beehive, I think, and then the
Oh,
bees
yes.
killed him.
Yeah. Do you remember the number one reason? The number one way to die?
Was it latex? Like, he,
So,
was, he was
like-
allergic to latex?
No, it was this couple. They had like saved themselves essentially. So they were like abstaining. And they were older and they finally had sex. And their hearts just couldn't take it from the sex. So they simultaneously had heart attacks and died at the same time during sex.
Do you remember what that one was called? I feel
It was just the number one reason.
I always think about that, and I like can never think about what it was called because I feel like the name was so clever, like simultaneous something.
Fuck.
Yeah. I remember that one. I remember one about a guy who like swallowed a squid and it crawled up his throat.
Yeah, because they eat it raw.
It was like a rite of passage or something.
Just the suckers, like,
Like this guy was like meeting his girlfriend's dad or his girlfriend's family for the first time, and her dad was like a hard ass. And he like was like, if you're a man, you're gonna eat this squid whole. And he was like, okay. And so he
Dad.
tried to eat it, and it was still alive, so it crawled up his throat and it like suffocated him.
That gives me anxiety. I've been having some like allergies and shit. And, like wake up and like can't breathe.
I can't imagine being allergic to like something that would do that. Like, just close your throat. That would fucking suck. Are you allergic to anything?
Apparently, fucking dust now.
Just the
Like I
dust.
never had allergies ever growing up. I never sneezed, never did nothing. All my siblings had some sort of like sniffling, all that shit. No, never. And then like literally the last like 2 years, I've been getting in bed. What the fuck?
Did you get COVID?
Yes,
Good man.
I got COVID twice. I think.
Had COVID.
I
It
just-
really has fucked you, hasn't it?
I've been sick 4 times. I had strep like a week and a half ago.
tight dog.
Thanks to the Wuhan lab, man. That's why it's an engineered virus, because they get you like that. I
It's
don't
just,
know.
just like keeps on knock it out and keeps on coming back.
Did you see? I don't know if this is true. Now I'm gonna get into my shit because
All
I
right,
saw I saw something that there is apparently a mothership. This is almost, if it's real, then it was confirmed by the Pentagon that there's a mothership in our solar system, entering our solar system, and it's going to send out probes all across the solar system, which means it's going to come to Earth.
I've been hearing a lot of.
What do you think of that?
Okay, wait. Where did this come from?
I don't want to say.
I swear
Twitter?
to God, if it was Alex fucking Jones, I'm
Hey, whoa, hold on.
Alex John Jones.
I love Alex Jones. He was wrong with Sandy Hook. Okay. I love Alex Jones, but no, it wasn't from him. I think it was from like a fucking rap account on Twitter, but I've heard it. Have you heard this?
I've been seeing like multiple like things talk about it. I can't say the source,
Can we
but
casually just like,
Just look it up, please.
let's see.
yeah, maybe. I mean, like,
Do you ever get any of this, like, I guess, conspiracy realm? You ever get into that stuff?
I'm for it for sure.
Well, they've all been proven right, but
Okay.
most of it.
I think
From the New York Post, Pentagon officials suggest alien mothership in our solar system could send mini probes to Earth. This is from the New York Post.
the Post.
The Post.
It's a big deal, man.
Where would it be from?
Who the fuck knows? Another galaxy close to us?
That's fucking trippy. That's a hell of a.
Wow.
That's an image right there.
It's us from the future.
Like,
I was listening to
well,
this
no,
guy.
it's from the past.
Do what?
It's from the
It's
past.
from the past. It could be from the past too.
I was listening to this guy talk about civilizations, and that's one of the things he said. He was like, don't scream in the jungle. That's what we've been fucking doing. We've been sending out radio frequencies all across the galaxy. Look what the fuck's gonna happen. Who knows what these guys, if they're real or whatever. Like,
There is some ridiculous literature out there for all kinds of things that I'm thinking about could be the thing that happened. So I don't know, man. I think we're fucked if there's like some outside life. I think that we are definitely inferior if that's the way.
oh yeah,
We may
sure.
think we're fucking smart. Now that'd be, and that's the crazy thing. Like, wouldn't we have to be if they reached us first? Right?
Wait. What do you mean?
If
What do you
there
say?
was like, if there was an extraterrestrial being or life force that came to us, like we would like, we'd have to damn near assume that we are by far inferior.
Of course, like
Like as far as
For the-
intelligence and development, technology,
everything,
literally.
everything. And that's what's crazy.
I had to read this novel, and I'm trying to think of what it was. I half-assed read it, and it was like more of a novella. It was part of a series, but it was like, I think it might have been like the basis for that movie, The Arrival, sort of.
Love that movie. That's a good movie.
But it was, I read the book, and it was like, there was like some alien sex going on and stuff. It was like, I mean,
That is the one.
sorry to be so
That's the one thing I've always wanted.
profound.
Because to me, it's like you're saying, like, if they can get here, then what am I? What am I gonna do? But I would like to know: do they have sex, or can they have sex with a human being?
I will.
Is there any sort of chemistry?
I'm gonna do some research, and I will figure out this book. And I swear, I will figure out this one that I read, and they were definitely doing some. Because like these aliens, these extraterrestrials, I don't remember how they were referenced in the book. Basically, they were omniscient. They knew past, present, future. It was like this whole fucking thing. Like,
Oh yeah, it's an arrival.
and then they were also like omnisexual.
So you should do whatever.
Yeah, so it was like they found out how to have sex with you, like regardless of. And it's like I don't remember all the details, but it was weird to read that as a very sexual.
How old were you when you were in?
I was like in my 20s.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say as a young boy.
I would have definitely reacted differently when I was a young boy.
I'm thinking about that one movie, Splice.
What is that one?
They
There's
create
alien
life,
sex in it. I think it's
not
like
an
Justin
alien.
Long.
but it's not an alien. Like
What is it?
they
Like
like
a
splice
clone?
these genes together and create a new.
Is it like a clone or something?
It's a fucking like a new species of person, and then he raises it as his daughter, and then he has sex with it, and then she kills him.
Maybe that's the one. Or maybe
It's fucking.
it sounds more like it. All I know is I felt dirty after reading this thing.
Oh. That's a weird one.
I just hope it's not anything like The Thing. Whatever it is.
Kurt Russell?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. The
One of the
thing.
greatest movie. You guys should do that movie. That movie night. By the way,
That would be bad.
fuck, dude, the thing's such a fucking awesome movie.
Movie night?
Season 3.
Yep.
So I have a movie podcast called Lords of Film, and Bradley's my co-host. And we have been doing monthly movie nights at season 3. Showing some cool shit.
I need to come check that out.
Two Dogs
Yeah.
actually follows us on Instagram.
I did that actually.
Oh, okay.
I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah.
But
thing.
yeah,
They didn't
no.
follow me. They didn't follow me.
Two Dogs isn't following the Snake Pit.
I don't know.
Whoa.
I'd rather you guys
Wow,
follow the
you don't
Snake
even
Pit.
know, and you're all like, you don't.
I don't know.
Is it wrong if I do it now?
Do it.
Do it while it's fresh on your mind.
Do his yeah. Can you look up his hat? I want to look at his hat again. I fucking love that fucking hat.
I just love him.
The thing Kurt Russell had. Oh, the Gus hat.
Is that what it's called?
No, that's not Gus.
Frontier Partisan? I don't know.
I've been telling Roy he would rock this so hard.
Bro, I want this so bad.
Won't you?
Looking like a prospector out there.
What you prospecting for, boy?
You're a long way from San Francisco.
Women. Just kidding. I looked at you when I said that. Damn. He's cool because he fucking he never takes it off. What did you do, Jen? What are you gonna do when the aliens come?
It just is what it is.
Is the atheism gonna leave your body and you're gonna start praying to God?
I'm not an atheist.
I'm just kidding. Dude, have you seen those memes? You never seen those memes?
No.
It was like, have you seen it? Where it's like the atheism leaving my body when the plane starts to have turbulence or something like that.
Hey, yo,
yeah.
let me get some love on here, actually. Oh, is that going to be a thing?
Here, I can scoot over.
If you can see
I don't know if Bradley's gonna be.
That will work. That was the most awkward.
Either way, if aliens are coming, it's inevitable, and we can't do anything about it.
Yeah. What am I going to do about it?
That's what I'm saying.
What am I going to do about the Russians? What am I going to do about aliens? What
Okay,
am I gonna do
well,
about
first of all, we ain't going to do shit about the Russians. I ain't doing shit.
Yeah.
So we're good.
That's more real.
That's
Nuclear war. Jesus.
What am I going to do about it?
Nothing.
I had my choice, and I told that boy in the library I was not signing up for the Marines. No, I didn't say that.
Bro, same. Because I looked up the draft age recently. I was like, I don't want to get drafted and go to war. I just missed it.
Yeah, that's past me already.
It's 26 is the deadline, but
Yeah, it's like, who am I? Oof, I'm about to get deep.
There's
that's up to you, man.
There's a. Have y'all heard of a movie called I think it's the Tomorrow War? It's with Chris Pratt. It's a Prime movie. But
Tomorrow
anyway,
war?
The
Yeah.
Tomorrow. It has a crazy premise. Pretty much what it's about. It's like now. I think it happens like on Christmas Eve. There's like a World Cup soccer game going on. Well, us from the future appear, and we come from way ahead of the future, and we say, hey, we need help. We are at war with extraterrestrials. We are losing, and we are here to recruit y'all to come to the future with us to fight this war because we are losing bad. And so pretty much there's a draft, but it's pretty much who the fuck ever. It's like people all ages, like no matter what gender, like people just start getting taken away, go into the future, and if they survive, they survive, and if they survive, they come back. So it's a crazy premise, but they don't tell them what the aliens look like, because if they show them what the aliens look like, they'll like die of fear, like they wouldn't want to, because they want them ready to go to fight whatever it is.
So what do they look like?
Just like terrifying aliens. Let me
Fucking awful.
just fucking.
I thought you were saying, like,
It's you. You're the alien.
that's what I was thinking. Like,
Like
it's
some like really like
a minority group
so
in the
dank
future.
it returns to normal.
Oh shit!
It's just like this
Oh, it's a monster.
evilish monster looking, but it's with Chris Pratt and J.K. Simmons. It's a pretty crazy ass movie.
Wait. Every time there's like a movie like that I can't remember, I always think it's that Tom Cruise movie where he like keeps dying and like coming back.
That's
Elysium? No, that's not one. Too.
it's called The Edge of Tomorrow.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's like literally the movie I always think of.
That's the first movie I thought of before he said something else.
But yeah, this is like a Prime movie, but it's a crazy premise just to think that
Dude,
us from the future would come back, be like, we need y'all to come to the future with us to fight this war.
I'd fuck with the future war. Maybe.
Well,
I
what
mean,
are
like,
you gonna
what? What are you gonna do?
What was the last? Have you gone to the movies recently?
Yes.
What'd you go see?
We went to see, speaking of Apocalypse, the Knock at the Cabin.
The M Night Shyamalan one?
How was it?
Yeah, how was that?
I was a fan.
Is Ron Weasley
I like
in
M
that?
Night Shyamalan.
Ron Weasley is in that.
Yeah.
I like M. Night Shyamalan as well. Ron fucking Weasley. Funny enough, I think that's a Prime thing as well. M. Night Shyamalan has a series also that Ron Weasley also stars in.
Oh, nice. Good to see he's working.
Yeah,
Love
like
him.
the ugly mother.
Hey, I like him. Fuck.
No, he's cute.
He went from ugly to cute.
It
So-
was like, I feel like he had like a rednecky accent in this movie. It was weird.
So they had to kill their daughter, or people died, or something like that.
So I won't say anything.
Spoil it. I need to know.
No!
Oh, come on.
She's into this shit.
No!
You have never mentioned watching it.
Because I don't go to the movies with you. I go to the movies for myself.
We went and watched Scream this last weekend.
Dude, tell me that.
I enjoyed it.
Okay, everybody,
I did.
lady,
Jen didn't?
if
I
you
cackled a few times.
if you choose to omit, what's everyone's ages?
I'm 29.
Okay,
26.
so we grew up on Scream,
Yeah.
all of us. Like that movie, I loved it. I wanted nothing in the world but to watch Scream when I wasn't able to. I wanted to watch it so bad.
I was thinking about that when we went. I was like, it would have been cool to see the first one in theaters.
Wait, but it was like dumb or what?
No, I was just like,
No, it's cool.
I loved it.
Oh,
It's a Scream movie.
okay. There we go. And that's
It's
all.
cool as fuck.
That's one of those things that like I remember that I kind of romanticize it like a lot because I
did, but I still enjoyed it.
had this. Well, I was talking to the homies at the brewery the other day, and it was like wanted to go see the new movie, and I forgot about one of the last ones I didn't see, 4 or 5. I don't remember which one it was.
Might have been 4.
4 had a whole different cast.
4 has Hayden Panettiere.
That's the one I saw though.
Okay, so you didn't see this last one?
The last one
with
came out
Jenna
last year.
Ortega?
Yeah, last year. That's the one that
That's
I didn't
number
see,
5.
and I forgot. Yeah, Jenna Ortega.
Check it out
The
first.
requel. Yeah, I liked them. Except for the third one.
So the third one, that's the one I like have the most attachment to because I got it for Christmas one year. VHS, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
Note the year.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
Oh, okay.
Oh, 31. I'm 31.
Nice.
But yeah, no, I like, got it for Christmas and it scared the shit out of me. And it was like that year we had a shit ton of snow. There was always this like weird glow in the yard. And it was like I was just on edge like a motherfucker that I was just gonna get murdered. Or whatever the hell was gonna happen. Also, I feel like there was a book or something I was supposed to read. There was just like general anxiety. I didn't realize what that meant when I was a kid, but it was just a bunch of shit that I wasn't in control of.
Do you know how many dreams I have of being back in school?
Too many, I bet.
I have at least once a week.
What's the scenario?
I miss assignments, and I'm trying to. Actually, hold on. Can I tell you guys about a dream I had last
What's
night?
the rating?
Or 2 nights ago. I think it was last night. I had a fucking dream that somebody broke in the house, and I got stabbed. And I woke up.
Fuck.
And I woke up and I could feel pain. I didn't wake up. I woke up in my dream and I could feel pain. I was like, what in the fuck is going on? And I look up, I pull my shirt up and all these fucking, I have all these tattoos that I don't have. And then I had all these stab marks. And then I go to, okay, I'm sorry. I go to my ex. I'm like, hey, I need to call 911, but if I don't, you gotta fucking help me. And for some reason, I could not type 911. Like, I just could not type it in the fucking phone. I don't know what it means. I don't know, man. I was like, it was crazy. Like, I keep getting stabbed in my dreams recently. Maybe it was from watching Scream. Oh
There's
no.
no conscious effort in dreams. Let's be fair now.
I get weird dreams. I get weird dreams like that too when I watch mob movies for some reason.
Mob?
Mob movies, yeah. Like Goodfellas.
Oh,
Mob.
Mob.
I thought you said ma.
Yeah.
Mr. Mom.
dude.
But nah, but the school thing, that's weird. I've had dreams where like I go to classes, but there was like this one class I forget about, and then I it's like one of these journey dreams where it's like a long time, and like halfway through the dream, like fuck, I forgot I was supposed to be going to this class.
Yeah.
I failed that shit, and so I'm always like panicking in my dream that I forgot about this one class. I always have that dream for some reason.
It's anxiety, brother. It's just like, do you have anxiety?
I mean, yes and no, but who doesn't?
That's the thing. Like, sorry
No.
to put you on blast. I didn't mean to do
No,
that.
no, you're good.
But that's my dream. It's always, granted, I did go through that where I was like about to graduate, but I was like, this fucking like workload is killing me. I was like, how the hell am I ever going to finish these assignments? I graduated. It's fine. I have a degree. So,
Do you have a lot of dreams? Do you remember them?
oh yeah.
You ever had a dream about fire in the sky?
Can't say I had that
Do you ever have dreams about nuclear attacks happening?
Oh, that's what I meant. Sorry.
one. I can't say I do, man. Mine are usually very like cognitive or like interpersonal, like very like real. It seems like
We a few Friday art trails ago, me and Roy went, and there was these dreams interpret. How do you say the word?
Dream interpreters.
Yeah, interpreters. Yeah.
they were on
So-
that trail or what?
Mistake going to them. Yeah.
But what's funny is, they claimed like they know what every dream is about. You know what's bad when me and Roy told them our dreams, and they're like, "Huh, that's interesting.
They had to
I
get-
guess I've never heard of that
They
dream
had to get the
before."
seniors in there, and they were like telling us.
Yeah, they brought like two other people like to see
Hey,
what it
It
meant.
fucked me up, dude. It fucked me up.
Ironically, beware the Ides of March. This old soothsayer says
What is that? What does that mean? I don't know.
it's Julius Caesar.
What day is that? Is that today?
Yeah, the
Hey, guess what? Tomorrow is 3/16, baby. Austin 3/16. So
Hey,
shout out to Stone Cold, but yeah, the
There
Ides
you
of March.
go.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
it's the day that Julius Caesar was assassinated. But in like in Shakespeare's play, a soothsayer comes upon him in the square right after they. I think it was right after they had marched on. Aaron would be mad at me if I couldn't remember this, but needless to say, basically gets told in the square that he's gonna
Beware the Ides of March.
beware the Ides of March. And the Ides is just the middle,
Ah.
be it the 15th of March, and so the Ides of March.
Bro, don't do a dream interpretation thingy, because if you're like me and you overthink shit,
I already know, like, hey, brother,
those bitches have me scared.
I got a
Sorry.
psych degree. I know everything there's for the modern science at least, and there's just not very fucking much on sleep science.
When you partake
well,
in
they
that-
don't even know either, too. So that's all.
Yeah,
we
some people
guess.
believe we go somewhere else.
That is a whole thought.
I would love for that to be the case, but whatever.
No, I think the brain is really fucking awesome, and I think that our memories are also very awesome. And I think that, I mean, just like any other memory, the same way you know to flick the light on when you turn or walk into the door, or flush the toilet when you take a piss, like, especially things, and again, no specific rationale on it, but somehow, some way, we're being like we're remembering, like our muscles, our neurons are like they want to remember like going through this process, or like trying to resolve this mystery or this like trouble that we had, or whatever it may be, because I have a lot of, and that's just me speaking, but a lot of dreams are current issues or past issues, and I'm reliving these things. It's something that I've internalized such the way that I, for some reason or another, had to rethink it. And that's, I guess, all the dream is really, is thinking it again. But I don't know much about dreams.
I love talking about dreams. I love dreaming.
Cognition is
Mitch Hedberg has a good joke about dreaming, where he was like, dreaming is very exhausting. Sleeping is supposed to be a relaxing affair. Next thing you know, I'm dozing off, I fall asleep. Next thing I know, I'm building a go-kart with my former landlord.
No, that's how it is sometimes, dude.
demanding.
Sometimes you're somewhere else. Who knows? When this all is said and done, and you and it's your time, you think it just goes black? Or do you think we go somewhere else? At least our consciousness or something fucking happens. What do you think?
I think that is right in line with the dream talk. I think that we have a lot of speculation and we talked about this, and I'm trying to get right with my mind, with my body, my spirit. A lot of good things. This is a night for drinking beer and hanging out. So this is an exception. But this is good spirit, and this is good mind right here. So I can call it amnesty on the drinking. But I wanna think that there's a consciousness, like that there's like this. So what if we go into like a fucking forever sleep? What if that's what it really is? And I'm just like in this fucking dream world for the rest of my life. How the fuck would I know?
True.
Don't matter.
It don't really matter.
I definitely want to, like I said, I'm not here to plug anybody's thoughts on afterlife or anything, but man, definitely want to be living my life right now as if there were something I'm going for. Promise you that. Because if it's half as good as what I'm doing now, I'm going to be all right.
Sounds like a whole lot of fun, man. I don't know. Who knows what the fuck happens when we die? Another journey. Jen, you want to ask him your question?
Do you believe in ghosts?
I do believe in ghosts.
Have you ever had a spooky experience?
Oh, let me think.
Is Two Dogs haunted?
If you're referring to the ghost chickens.
What?
Ghost chicken?
Tell us about this. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Ghost chicken. There was the Two Dogs, the last business that was there was, I believe it was owned by the Tyson Chicken affiliate. And it was it's a frozen chicken house. But those frozen chickens don't forget the sins of the ones that took their lives. And they carry on a vengeance in them. Frozen or not.
There's something to be said about collective energies, man. Can you feel it? Like, can you hear stuff or what?
It's like some weird racket. Some weird clucking around, if you will.
That's fucking crazy.
Man, downtown.
That's funny. So real quick, where my house is, that back area where it's like another house in the back, like back in the 60s, that was like a chicken farm. They used to like grow chickens and they would kill them and all that shit. So I've never heard of ghost chickens. I don't even think I've ever heard like any phantom bucks out there.
It may or may not be a little bit facetious, but I still do believe in espiritus, as you will, spirits. I think those
railroad tracks must be fucking. There must be something over there.
There's some sin going on that for sure. Like there's been some unrighteous shit going on. Probably.
You guys live I mean, you go a little bit further. Like, didn't the witch used to live over there by Two Dogs? In those apartments they tore down. Or am I thinking of somewhere else?
She used to live at the ones on Clovis Road.
Close.
Those are still up.
Sorry, my bad. I didn't mean to disrespect her because I don't want her mad at me. I thought, that's just a weird side of that's an old side of town. There's a lot of things going on. That is on me. My bad.
We did we shot a video. It hasn't come out yet. We did like a tour of East Lubbock, and we went to like
we went to the cemetery.
We went to Hell's Gates and very crazy energy out there.
There's something to be said about visiting a funeral. I mean, a cemetery.
Yeah.
It's just you think about, because that's what I told Swag. I was like, because I mean, Buddy Holly's one of the most famous musicians of all time, and he's 6 feet under the fucking ground. And then there's people that nobody ever thinks about anymore, and they're 6 feet under the ground,
like Henry Jenkins.
We're all shout out to the cowboy.
So
I'm sorry, I didn't want me to laugh.
No. It took us a while to find it, but after we saw Buddy Holly's gravesite, I told Roy and Swag that I really want to take out to this, but we have to find it. I don't know where it's at. It's no one famous. It's just interesting to see. And here, I'll pull it up on my shit.
I will say that my family plot is like, we saw Buddy Holly's. Ours is just like due north, like
really,
like right there, like just like 10.
How long have you had that? For a while.
My grandfather's parents were born or buried there in like the 80s, late 80s. So,
Okay.
but so yeah, not like forever and ever. But it's like everybody in the last 30 years. So it's essentially the family plot.
But yeah, this past weekend we went to the OG
we went to
Stubbs
Stubbs.
barbecue site.
Yeah.
Took some pictures there. This is
That's kind of creepy.
so the thing about this, Angel, is I was telling Roy this story that apparently if you go to the cemetery at night, you have to go the way the myth is, you have to go to this angel and kiss her feet. And if you don't, if you show her disrespect, you will get lost in the cemetery and you'll be delayed to get out
And
of it.
we kind of got lost in the middle of the day.
Yeah,
we
we
kind of
did.
did. So imagine being at night with no street lights when that shit was
Yeah.
probably up.
And so we went to go see Buddy Holly, and I told Roy we got to go see this because I've heard a ghost story online talk about this of haunted Lubbock. And look at this right here. Henry Jenkins, a cowboy aged about 32 years old, died March 10th, 1892.
5 days ago.
And was the first person buried in this cemetery. So, and
131
well,
years
and it was weird too because this area, a lot of the people
Is it
were-
like far? It's like far back, huh?
Yeah.
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 I think I did see this actually one time. Now that I'm reading it,
but that whole like block of tombstones, they were buried in the late 1800s and early 1900s. And I told Roy that I was like, I bet you they do not get any visitors like almost at all.
we
And
breathed life into him for the first time in a long time, probably. Or not in him, but like the other people.
Henry Jenkins.
because we had to find it, so we were just reading off different.
Yeah, there was a lot of
tombstones.
people born in like I think the earliest was like the 1860s. There some of their deaths, some of their births.
Other than this man's like inauguration of the cemetery, was there anything else like profound that you saw that was just like, damn, I know who this person was?
No, I will say the weird ones were the babies, like the ones born 1 day, 2 days. That was weird, and we're talking like 1910s or
Yeah.
before, and that was weird. I didn't see anybody else.
There's a lot of tombstones that are just beaten up, like just not taken care of at all.
That was sad. I thought.
And they're like, 1940s, 50s, and the Lubbock Cemetery is the third biggest cemetery in Texas.
No joke.
So yeah, no joke. So there's a lot of people out there.
Sheesh. I mean, like I said, rest her soul. My grandmother's out there.
I think it is kind of segregated too, huh?
Yeah,
The Mexicans
because
were in a different spot.
the Mexicans are in the very, very back, and you see a lot of Martinez and
You could tell it's Mexican actually because they all have flowers and shit.
beer.
Nobody else did.
and beer.
Yeah, nobody else did.
There are a lot of Michelob Ultras on the graves.
Buddy Holly's. The two things about that weekend was Stubbs is a very historic place and it's not well taken care of. Like the city of Lubbock should do a better job taking care of it. Same for Buddy Holly's grave. I think they should take care of that grave a little bit more. It's just there. Maybe that's what the family wanted. I don't know. Also, I didn't know his last name was spelled differently. Like,
EY, baby.
yeah, I was like, because we went to the museum and it was like, oh shit. And that's not even his real name. What's his real name?
Charles Hardin
Charles.
Holly.
Shout out to Buddy Holly, man. Cool place. Go out to Hell's Gates. That's a creepy place at night. You ever been out there at night?
I've done that. That was the whole thing.
Yeah, that's a oogie spooky spot, man.
One Halloween we went out there and we did, like, me, my brother, and his friend, we went out there walking. And then this other group of kids, because it was Halloween night, so everyone goes
I
out
was very
there.
busy on that night.
And so it wasn't too busy. It was just pretty much me and like our group, another group, and there was probably like 3 other groups that just spread out. And then we were coming down at the hill when you go through the bridge up around and you have to go back down again. Well, this guy was wearing a jester mask and he was walking up to us. And next thing I know, I hear like a zapping sound. This fool has a taser. And I was like, oh, haha, that's funny. It's Halloween. You just messing around. But he kept walking closer to us. I turned around and I told everyone, run. Because that's a fucking weapon. I ain't just gonna play like that. Who knows if he zaps you and he takes your wallet or
Yeah,
whatever.
who knows what he's gonna do with you?
Yeah, so we took off and luckily we got out of there.
When was this? How long was this?
This was probably 2018, probably.
Bro, the clown craze.
Oh, with like, with it and all that bullshit.
Was it like? Was that what inspired it?
No, they
Was
were
it
promoting
Joker?
it, right?
Bro, there was clowns everywhere. Everyone
Shout out
was
to
like,
that
Like, there's
fart.
like a documentary on.
I just farted.
"Oh God damn it!"
Shout out. I thought it was to promote it, so, sort of like Smile. You know, when they had all those people smiling at those.
I
sports
think it was
games?
after that though. It was like
I feel like this was done.
There's a
That was
documentary
some Florida
on
man shit going on.
Prime about it.
Bro, is that how you smell the strawberries?
It's this lotion. Maybe that's masking.
You would know if when you smell it, you'll know.
Smells like
I'm gonna hit
eggs.
you if I smell it.
We had Pazookies earlier, so
Bless you.
God
Bless you.
bless Jen
I
because it's
bought-
about to be horrible.
I bought us street tacos from Raider Burrito, and then
Nice.
he
Three
got.
plus?
No,
I
she got
ate three
plus.
plus.
No shit. Were they good? I've been wanting to get some over there, but I was like, because that's the only place I know in town.
There's also like
The place across the street, Guadalajara,
Oh yeah, Guadalajara. Wait,
no, I was gonna say
like
a year ago maybe.
that's some fucked up.
I don't go there.
man, I've been there like 6 times since then. Not gonna
Oh,
lie.
you're crazy. You eat chili, so whatever.
Chili's?
I fuck with Chili's so hard.
Wait,
Yes, Chili's.
The restaurant.
Chili's, baby. Okay. Yeah, what's wrong with Chili's? It's like,
I'm not gonna get into it on this.
that's poor
No,
man's
get
cuisine,
into
dog.
it. Get into it, because you wanna
No, y'all
berate
aren't gonna
me.
get into it.
You wanna
We can get into
harass me about Chili's. Harass
Just-
your guest about Chili's.
Just you have so many better options.
There's tons of yes, and I definitely
what are
you
you
know what I mean?
doing?
You
Wait.
gotta support local, brother and sister.
yeah.
Hey, what are you doing going there, man? You like
So-
Wiener
But
Schnitzel?
like I say, what if once every 6 or 7 months I'm just like,
just don't tell me.
damn, you know what sounds good? Honey chicken crispers.
You said you go to the movies by yourself.
Yeah.
You go and devour those fucking crispers in your
I
car.
DoorDash them. I DoorDash them to myself.
You should eat them by yourself because you shouldn't be publicly
I do, because I don't have
publicly
friends.
supporting these
I
people.
don't have friends that are down to clown at Chili's. So
Good,
yeah, I eat it by
good.
myself.
Actually, this is a good thing because
Do you-
they know better than to go to that place.
My only friends that will go are Ray and Bree.
And there's something to be said about them too. So whatever. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
Bringing the
kidding.
tea on here. We got
Wow.
I don't even know. I don't know them, so I can't. I don't give
sugar
a
for
fuck.
this tea?
They support the
We're
pod.
simple women that just
There's
like
nothing
chicken
simple about that
strips.
nasty place.
Chili's. It has its time and place.
We used
and
to go
it's-
kick it at
it-
Furs.
I just can't.
I used to love me some furs.
I love
expensive.
Furs.
You already know
It's
Grandma and
my
Papa used to take me in there on the reg.
My favorite place.
When I was in high school, like when I was playing football, be like, "You want to go to Furs?" It's like, "You mean I can eat like 3 meals in one?"
Let's
Fuck
go.
yes, I
I'm in the
will.
car.
Yeah, before football games, we would stop at Furs and fucking chow down before.
Like as a team,
Yeah, the whole team.
where'd you go to high school at?
Coronado, Lubbock Coronado High School.
Nice.
Boo.
You playing game?
Oh, you do you still live down the
Friendship
street? from me?
Tigers.
On where?
I'm not gonna say it, but down the street.
On. No ish. Yes. No, I don't. I live.
Remember I used to go to your house a couple years ago?
Yes, but
You don't live
no,
at the house
I don't
anymore?
live in that house anymore.
Oh, okay.
I ironically moved like a couple blocks east, same street
From here?
from that house.
Oh, from that house. Okay.
But as it were, spend a lot of time with my lady, so takes me to the south side a lot. But man, I like being downtown. Like or not downtown, but like medical district is where I
Mhm,
always said
yeah.
I lived. So medical district. When I went back to school, that was always fantastic. Sorry, I keep getting comfortable.
You're all good, man.
And then it's just like I got so comfortable being downtown, and like that's such a good access point, man. You can like anything around campus, you can get anywhere. That's where like 10 minutes in Lubbock means 10 minutes in Lubbock. So you can hop on Marcia and be anywhere.
That's a good thing about this area.
So good. So I'm gonna make a move here in the next couple months, and I'm gonna see Well, I'm actually going back to my old neighborhood, the neighborhood I grew up in. And that's kind of like further southwest. I'm like, all right, how am I going to adjust to this? Because I've been like kind of batching it up. I've been in relationships, but like been doing the beer thing, living downtown, going out a lot, like all that stuff for the last couple of years. It's like, all right, gonna move south again. Time to grow up, son.
We all got to do it, man.
But it's all right. There's bars on that side of town too.
There you go, dude. Well, I have one more question before we get you out of here. And we know, obviously, from this podcast that you love what you do. You can really tell and you can feel it. What sort of advice would you give somebody? Because I'm sure there's people out there who are trying to look for their purpose in life and look for something to give a fuck about. What advice would you give them and how to find it? How can they grasp onto something like what you do with beer and the way we do with what we do?
Number one, and there's only going to be 2 of these. It's not going to be long.
Whatever, man.
Literally care about something. Just fucking do it. Like, actually care about it. You have to do it. Like, whether it's real estate or
Anything.
one of the crafts, care about it. Just absolutely care about it. Like, don't do it. You just can't do it for any other reason. Care about it. And then find, and I guess this is a two-parted number 2, but find people that care about you. Find people you care about. And that's, I don't know. Like I said, I've only reached a certain level of the quote-unquote success, as we're speaking of, but I think that relationships matter so much. That's been my driving factor the whole time. And whether I was always good about it or not, that's debatable. Not really. It's pretty clear and plain on the paper, but whether I did what I wanted to all the time was the one that's arguable. And I think if I was to do it perfectly or tell someone how to, it's care about the people, be cared about, understand that you're appreciated, and then just love something. Like, do something that's like awesome. Like, for me, it's always been products. I loved Western wear. That was the first retail job I had. Boots, jeans, hats.
Dollar Western?
Love that shit. Boot City, actually.
Boot City.
One money-saving mile right outside the loop.
Oh,
As
shit.
What, on 19th?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay.
Great store, great family-run organization, great innovation. It taught me how to love things, and I met so many amazing product specialists or brand representatives, boot salesmen, hat salesmen, yada yada. And like, it was a pretty wholesome industry. As it were, I was developing and experimenting in ways to think about things and expand my thought and all kinds of good stuff at the time. And I was young and eager, and I wanted to figure out a way to do something that mattered. Turns out selling boots wasn't it. Selling cars wasn't it. Doing research wasn't it. Selling beer may not be it. But I've genuinely loved every single thing I've done along the way. Had amazing people. Wish I would have shown more love to some of them along the way. Wish I would have received some more along the way from others. But, long story short, that's been the gist of what's made me successful, and I actually feel like it's all been worthwhile.
Hell yeah, man. Got anything to plug or promote for the people?
Yeah.
How can they follow you?
Sorry, I can be long-winded sometimes, and I definitely didn't get to hit some of the things, but, just thank you so much, guys, for letting me come on.
Let's do it again.
Amazing. This has been fun. It's been long overdue.
Yes.
I know I stood you up, hopefully only once.
We had it scheduled for you. We had March 15th, and you hit me up February 15th. Like, hey, when can I come over? And I was like,
yeah, sorry, I was eager this time, but I knew, like I said, it's been just a long time, and I've known you for a good while. I know you're a
Hell
good
yeah.
dude, and I love to see this growth, progression. Love to maybe come chat about some films at some point.
Oh, yeah.
It's not my forte either, but damn, I love film.
these are the ones you hit up for that.
I'm
But yeah.
a movie buff. I don't even know if buff is the way, but I'm addicted to films.
We can just chop it up about movies. You don't have to be a Anything.
I'll still bring beer.
That's all we want.
Oh yeah.
But definitely, shout out to Two Dogs, Texas Craft, State Bill, that is 322. Go talk, look it up, do your research. Don't do your research. Just fucking sign the petition. Don't do a single fucking bit of research and literally sign that petition, just like we're all happily trained to do sometimes. When it's a good cause, know it, and this is a good cause. So,
Yeah. There you go, people.
so definitely for direct to consumer, that's going to be huge for us. And then finally, I'd love to do a follow up on Lubbock Live, because I'm going to have a lot more information at some point about that. Lubbock
When's that,
Live
like in
Festival for the Arts.
September?
Yeah, so we'll be actually hosting August 28th this year.
Okay.
Similar format. Luca will be our grand stage. Two Docs will still be satellite stage. Working on sponsorship still, trying to get as many people involved. Maybe a live podcast or something.
We can rework through that.
We could
if we're
figure
invited.
something out, but I think there's some really cool opportunities. But Lubbock Live Festival for the Arts, we're trying to get the word out there, specifically for all the listeners and you guys. Please, if you have anybody, applications and suggestions will be open up in the next couple weeks. If you have anybody that you think deserves funding, support, proclamation, whatever the hell it is for an arts-driven organization or entity, let us know. Tell us how we can be the ones who, raise funds for and awareness for these folks. That's what the Lubbock Live Festival for the Arts was created for. Shout out to my boy Jay Couture on that.
Jeremy?
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to you, man. Yeah, we'll get you on in the summertime. Come back on in the summer. We'll talk about it.
Be great to just, like I said, talk a little bit more about what we've developed. We've just been kind of hitting our first couple of board meetings to get everything going for that. But we're really excited. We're going on year 3.
Number 3, huh?
It's getting bigger and bigger. The turnout was amazing last year. I think we gave over a little bit more than $10,000 for the East Lubbock Arts House.
Nice.
And it's so amazing to see what they're doing in the community. Danielle's been doing it's unbelievable the amount of work she's doing with that community, with that entity. It can't be put on paper, and that's another guest you should have out here.
I was going to ask you about that. I'll ask you about that in a minute when we're done. Yeah, I'd like to.
And so it's like, we just want to be able to propagate good things. So Lubbock Live Festival for the Arts, we're about to get the campaign rolling. So y'all keep a lookout for that. Be excited for it. I cannot tell you.
There's something cool going on here. I love it.
And then, again, come out, drink some green beer, drink some Irish Stout, run your 5K if you so please this Saturday, the 18th. But
we should go run it.
You should do it because I'm working.
Yeah. How many? Oh, yeah, I've done a 5K before. Yeah, I
You
should.
should knock it out.
Bradley, got anything?
Follow me at Bradley Noah Garcia as always, and follow Lords of Film. We just finished our Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas screening. It was a success. We're not doing anything the rest of this month, but we do have some April and May plans to complete out our screening season. And Jen.
Follow me at Hellasoft. Follow me at Texas Chainsaw Alchemist, and book me up for April. And April 7th, come to the Budding Artist Fashion Show. I'll be doing hair, and
Your boy be hosting that motherfucker.
Roy will be emceeing.
Heyo.
Oh, man, I'm
And
scared.
shout out Two Dogs for this really sour, strong beer.
Yeah, shout out to Two Dogs. I'm glad you guys didn't get mad at me from what I said. Be on the lookout for our pilot for our sketch comedy show. By the time this comes out, I'm sure we will have that in the works. And follow us on all the social medias. Thanks, guys. We'll see you guys. One love.